everyone? Welcome back to Prehistoric Nature, where we give you facts and info about prehistory. Meet the elephant bird. It got its name from its gigantic size. It was also the heaviest flightless bird. And before I get into today's episode, I just want to send a quick shout out to those people who are subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much. Every subscriber counts. And if you want to buy some of my merch, I've got a new website that you can click in the description below that I'll add in this video. Yeah. And if you want a discount, I provide canvas photos and t-shirts and stuff. All you need to do is see the link in the description as well as the discounts. ADS3 for canvases and HB23 for all clothing merch. Clothing merch, yes. And you'll get for canvas, you'll get a 40% discount out if you apply the code that I just mentioned just now, and you get a 50% discount for all clothing merch. Without further ado, let's dive into the elephant bird. The elephant bird, an extinct flightless avian giant, native to Madagascar, stands as one of the most iconic examples of insular gigantism and human-driven extinction. Revered in legend, myth, and scientific inquiry, these birds belong to the order APPLY ornithiforms and were the largest birds to ever exist, with species weighing up to 1 metric ton and laying eggs surpassing even those of the dinosaurs in volume. Their story is not only a tale of evolutionary marvel, but also a cautionary narrative about the fragility of island ecosystems and profound impact of human colonization. This report provides a comprehensive, up-to-date synthesis of the elephant bird's taxonomy, morphology, ecology, evolutionary history, extinction, and cultural significance, integrating the latest findings from paleontology, molecular biology, and archaeology. Here is what we will be getting into today: taxonomy, characteristics, fossil evidence, recent genetics, evolutionary history, habitat and ecological role, as well as their diet, extinction timeline, archaeological and cultural significance, controversies and debates, comparative analysis, recent discoveries, museum collections, and radiocarbon dating, along with the conclusion. Taxonomy and classification. Elephants were classified within the infraclass Paleoganthinae, a group that include rattataes, or flightless birds such as ostriches, emus, cassowaries, kiwis, and the extinct moas. Their flying relatives the Tina mouse Within Paleoganthene, the elephant birds are placed in the order Apiornithiformes, which is endemic to Madagascar. Recent molecular analysis have revolutionized our understanding of ratities evolution. Contrary to earlier vicariance-based models, which posited that ratities is diversified in tandem with the breaking up of Gondwana. DNA evidence now shows that elephant birds are most closely related to the kiwi of New Zealand, not the ostrich of Africa, as previously assumed. This suggests that the ancestors of these birds diversified by flight and independently evolved flightlessness and giganticism after colonizing their respective islands. Yeah. Historically, the taxonomy of elephant birds was fraught with confusion, with up to 16 different species described based on fragmentary remains. However, recent morphometric and molecular studies have clarified the picture. Recent genetic evidence suggests that the family Apiornithidae should be split, with Muller-Ornis placed in its own family, Muller-Ornithidae, due to deep genetic divergence. The number of valid species remains under debate, but consensus is that extreme sexual dimorphism, females were much larger than males, may have led to an oversplit in the past. Physical characteristics. Elephant birds exhibited a K-selective life history with slow growth and delayed maturity. Embryonic skeletons recovered from intact eggs show that even hatchlings were robust, suggesting precocial young, which means the young was born fully formed and not naked and brown like altricial. The eggs required vast amounts of calcium, likely sourced from the medullary bone in females. Elephant birds were giants among birds. The largest Vorumbe titan is estimated to have weighed up from 860 to 1,000 kilograms and stood over 3 meters tall in life. Even the smallest species, Muller-Ornis modus, was comparable in size to a large ostrich or emu. Their skeletons were robust, with thick, stocky leg bones adapted for supporting immense weight. The pelvis of Apiornis was heavily fused and massive. Malaornis, and while Malaornis had a grey-shell build, the skull was small relative to its body size, with a straight, conical beak suited for browsing vegetation. Recent digital endocost studies have revealed that elephant birds had extremely reduced optic lobes, indicating poor vision, which means their eyesight wasn't very good, and enlarged olfactory bulbs, suggesting a reliance on smell. Neuroanatomy is similar to that of the kiwi, which supports the hypothesis that the elephant birds were nocturnal or mostly crepuscular foragers, especially in forested habitats. Their hearing was likely poor and their locomotion was slow and graviportal, unlike the crucial ostrich or emu. Fossil evidence and key species. Fossil records of elephant birds is primarily restricted to the late Pleistocene and Holocene of Madagascar. The majority of remains are subfossil bones and abundant eggshell fragments, often found in coastal dune sands, alluvial deposits, and ancient lake beds. Embryonic air skeleton in egg. A complete Aornis egg containing a disarticulated embryo was scanned using high resolution CT, revealing detailed cranial and postcranial anatomy previously unknown due to the rarity of intact eggs and reluctance to open them. Museum collections, major specimens are housed in Museum National Histoire Naturale in France, the Natural History Museum in London, and the National Geographic Society in Washington, and other institutions worldwide. Radiocarbon dating and chronology. Radiocarbon dates from eggshells and bones place the youngest elephant bird at around 1,000 to 1,300 years old. Well, about 700 to 1,000 ECE. With some evidence suggesting survival into the 17th century in remote areas. Recent genetics discoveries. Advances in ancient DNA or ADNA extraction, particularly from eggshells, have enabled the recovery of near complete mitochondrial genomes and even nuclear DNA from elephant birds. These studies have yielded several key insights. Stable isotopic analysis of eggshells have provided information on diet and habitat use, while ancient proteins, paleoproteomics, have corroborated genetic distinctions between clades. Evolutionary history. The elephant bird's history is intimately tied to Madagascar's unique biography. Molecular clock estimates place the divergence between Abiornis and Malornis at around 30 million years ago. During the Oligocene, well after Africa and Madagascar separated. As the dominant terrestrial herbivore of Madagascar, elephant birds likely played a crucial role in seed dispersal and vegetation dynamics. Their extinction may have led to cascading effects on the island's flora, particularly for plants with large, thick-coated seeds adapted for gut passage by giant birds. Habitat, diet, and ecological role. Elephant birds were distributed across a range of habitats in Madagascar, from humid forests to dry spiny forests and open grassland. Isotopic analysis of morphological evidence indicates that elephant birds were primarily herbivorous, with some species being browsers, feeding on leaves, shrubs, and possibly fruit, and others being mixed feeders with significant grazing competence. Based on neural anatomy and limb proportion, elephant birds were more likely slow-moving nocturnal or crepuscular foragers, relying on smell rather than sight. Their reproductive strategy involved laying a small number of enormous eggs in a ground nest with slow maturation of offspring. Behavior and sensory biology. Digital reconstruction of the elephant bird's brain reveals extremely reduced optic lobes and enlarged olfactory bulbs, propelling the kiwi and supporting nocturnal habits. Wait. Their limb bones, graviportally limbs, indicate slow, steady walking rather than running. Social behavior is unknown, but by analogy with other ratites, they may have been solitary or lived in small groups. Nesting was likely on the ground with simple scrapes for the massive eggs. Extinction and timeline. Radiocarbon dating of eggshells and bones place the extinction of the elephant bird between 800 and 112 EC, with the youngest reliable dates around 1000 to 1300 years before present. C 700 to 1200 EC. Some historical accounts and oral traditions suggest survival into the 17th century in remote regions, but these are unverified and likely reflect on folk memory. The extinction of the elephant bird is widely attributed to a combination of human activities and environment change. Low genetic diversity in final populations may have reduced resilience to these pressures. There were ongoing debates about the relative importance of hunting versus habitat loss. The timing of human arrival and the possibility of late survival in remote areas. Recent discoveries of the cut marked bones dated over 10,000 years ago suggest a much earlier human presence. but this remains controversial and is not widely accepted. Archaeological and cultural significance. Elephant birds have the elephant bird has long captured the imagination of the Malagasy people and outsiders. The earliest written accounts come from Etienne de Flacourt, in French governor of Madagascar in the mid 17th century, who described a large ostrich-like bird called the Voron Patra, inhabiting remote regions. Eggshells and bones are found in archaeological contexts, sometimes associated with pottery, iron fragments, and artifacts, indicating mm, overlap with human settlements. In Malagasy folklore, the elephant bird Vorom Patra is remembered as a powerful, elusive creature. In modern times, it has become a symbol of lost biodiversity and consequences of human impact on unique islands ecosystem. Controversies and debates in the literature. The number of valid specimens and status of Vorombe titan remains. The precise timing of extinction and rules of hunting, habitat loss, and disease are subject of ongoing research and debate. The discovery of ancient cut mark bones has reignited discussions about antiquity of human presence in Madagascar. While de-extinction of elephant birds is not currently feasible, advances in ancient DNA recovery and genome editing have sparked discussions about potential and ethics of reconstructing extinct species. The challenges are immense, especially for birds, due to reconstructive biology and the lack of close living surrogates. Comparative analysis. So here is a comparative analysis, a table. The elephant bird was the heaviest known bird, far outweighing both the moa and ostrich, while the tallest bird, moa species, Diornis robustus, may have exceeded the elephant bird in height. The latter mass and egg size was unapparelled. Both the elephant bird and the moa exhibited extreme sexual dimorphism, with females much larger than males, leading to historical confusion in species counts. The ostrich, while still impressive, is much lighter and remains extinct in Africa. The ecological roles of these birds were similar. As dominant herbivores, they shaped their respective island and ecosystems. Both the elephant bird and the moa went extinct following human colonization, highlighting the vulnerability of insular megafauna to anthropogenic pressures. Recent discoveries. A landmark in 2023 study analyzed over 960 eggshell fragments from across Madagascar using ancient DNA, stable isotopes, and proteomics to reconstruct the evolutionary history, diet, and biography of elephant birds. Key findings include the, the following, depicted below or depicted in the screen here. High-resolution CT scanning has enabled detailed study of embryonic skeletons within intact eggs, providing new data on growth, development, and ontogeny. Refined radiocarbon dating protocols and isotopic analysis have improved the accuracy of extinction timelines and clarified the relationship between human and megafaunal decline. Elephant birds remain, especially eggs and bones, are held in major natural history museums worldwide, including eggshells, and the bone specimens are curated at research institutions as the University of Colorado in Curtin and Curtin University with ongoing efforts to digitize and make collections accessible for research. Methods: radiocarbon dating, ancient DNA and isotopes. Radiocarbon dating of eggshells and bones is the primary method for establishing the chronology of elephant bird extinction. Eggshells are particularly valuable due to their abundance in and resistance to contamination, though initial offsets due to dietary limestone intake must be accounted for. Advances in DNA extraction from eggshells have enabled the recovery of mitochondrial and nuclear genomes, even in challenging tropical environments of Madagascar. Hybridization, enrichment, and high throughput sequencing are standard techniques. Isotopic signatures from eggshells provide insight into diet, habitat use, and ecological partitioning among species. The story of the elephant bird is a powerful lesson in vulnerability of island megafauna to human impact. While de-extinction remains a distant prospect for birds due to technical and ethical challenges, the recovery of ancient DNA and study of extinct species informs conservation strategies for living relatives and highlights the importance of preserving genetic and ecological diversity. Right, here is like I said, a comparison table. Second comparison table. The elephant bird what remains a symbol of evolutionary wonder and human induced loss. Recent advances in paleogenomics, isotopic analysis, and non destructive imaging have transformed our understanding of its taxonomy, biology, and extinction. Yet many mysteries endure about its precise ecological role, full extent of its diversity, and the exact sequence of events that led to its disappearance. As research continues, the elephant bird stands as both a subject of scientific fascination and an poignant reminder of fragility of island ecosystems in the face of human change. Unfortunately, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, and if you want any like shirts and stuff, I'll leave my website link in the bottom. So without further ado, let's finish off. And you never know, we might just bring back some extinct species, like for example the Tasmanian tiger. There's already genome sequencing being done for that.